Hello everybody, Toastbomb here. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that piggybacks off of the topic I was talking about a few days ago, and that is what is the best sensitivity to play. Today we're going to be talking about why the high sensitivities are bad in general, because it's something I kind of brushed over and I didn't really talk about that much in the video to keep it inside the amount of time that I had. So anyways, let's go. Alright, so first of all, let's look at your controller. Pick it up. Move the sticks around, wiggle them around. Do they have very much movement room? No, there's only about like a centimeter, maybe a little more than a centimeter on either side of the stick for it to move. So there's a total of like 2 centimeters for this stick to move around, which really isn't very much. Now, only about 80% of the time, you're going to only require slow-moving activities, such as turning a corner. That doesn't require anything that's really high speed, or staying on target, which is actually a very helpful thing to have something that is much slow turning, so you can be much more accurate to stay on target. The other 20% of the time, you're going to require very fast movements, such as turning around to run away, or snapping onto a target really quick, so you can start putting shots down. Now, if you go with the 1 sensitivity, that pretty much opens up that entire 2 centimeter range to only turning slow. It doesn't have the potential to go very fast. So this is good if you want to be very, very precise, but obviously it doesn't meet that potential for that other 20% of the time that is really, really important to have. Now, if you go to the other extreme and go to 10 sensitivity, you're choking down the range that you have to allow for slow turning movement so much it's almost non-existent. And you're pretty much dedicating the entire range of the stick to high speed turning activity, which is only 20% of what you're doing, which doesn't make any sense. This is why 3 to 5 is such a good range, because it allows for you to have a large portion of the stick for the activity you're going to be doing the most, which is fine adjustments, and then has a small portion of the stick that allows for very, or at least not quite as fast as 10 sensitivity, but more quick movements than you would on that very low end on 1 sensitivity. So that is the reason that 3 to 5 is so good and 10 is just not so great, because you're allocating almost the entire stick to an activity you're only doing 20% of the time. Now, of course, this can vary from game type to game type, or game to game. You know, maybe you're not even talking about Halo, maybe you're talking about some other console first-person shooter. It could be whatever. Now, say you're playing Driftball. Most of the time, you are doing that really fast snapping to objects, probably more like 95% of the time. That is going to be what is required. So in that scenario, then those fast movements and high sensitivities are very important and are a very good thing, because if you're on the lower end, you'd be dedicating more area of that stick, because you only have such a limited range, to an activity that's not very important and not used very often for that specific game type. So it can vary from game type to game type, or game to game, whatever it is. You just kind of have to observe, what are you doing most often? Is the turning, really quick stuff super important and integral to play in that game, or is it just kind of a thing that is useful sometimes, but those finer adjustments are used much more often? And that will also help you determine what sensitivity is best, and that is why, in general, on default settings, high sensitivities are not generally the way to go for Halo. Anyways, that'll be it for this one. I hope that cleared up some things that I didn't explain super well in the previous video. Anyways, that'll be it for this one. If you liked it, you can leave a like or a comment, or you can subscribe, because I post new Halo videos every day. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye.